Welcome back to Turnbuckle Chat. It's been a couple of weeks. We thought we'd let the tension build up before the Royal Rumble before we come back to you again. So we are back tonight, me and David. Just going to have a discussion over the past week or so, what's happened in WWE and what's been going on. And then we'll look ahead to next week's Royal Rumble, which should be a good one. We will be live for that. So make sure you catch us next Friday. But firstly, mate, how are we, buddy?
Not doing too bad. It's been a while since we've been last on here. We had a few changes, got a new logo, nice new background.
Yeah. We're on a new
Uh,
streaming service as well, so we're hoping this one goes
yes.
really well and we're not gonna technical glitches like we did last time. But no, it's been a couple of weeks where we've got a lot of content out there and started changing the way that we're
Yeah.
doing things now. So fresh new start for Turnbuckle Chat going forward. Um, Also helps that I now have an actual setup rather than sitting on my sofa and everything collapsing every 2 minutes. So it's all good. But straight into it, I think I don't know if you want to look back at last Raw or SmackDown. Maybe SmackDown we might do. Obviously, last
Yeah.
night was Saturday Night Main Event in Canada. Um, so obviously we'll touch upon that because there's things. The first thing I want to talk about, I know I expressed this to you earlier, it really drives me insane. Roman Reigns
Yeah.
announced on Friday he's in the Royal Rumble.
Yes. He did.
Show up.
Yeah.
Even if you show up just in the entrance ramp, you come out and you announce your. Why have they done a stupid VT package for him to announce it? To me, that's what infuriated me as when he was champion was they do all these VT packages of him talking and announcing he's going to be Roman Reigns returns next week like 3 million times. They've announced that he's now in the Rumble, and I'm sort of like,
Yeah.
for someone who's meant to be Bucky's over in the UK, he's Bucky's favourites to win it. A
Hmm.
lot of social media saying that they think Roman Reigns going to win. It's
Yeah.
grinded my gears that they've done a VT package rather than him just showing up and saying, I understand, and I think it was you said to me earlier, or maybe the missus, that he's been doing Street Fighter, he's been doing a movie. I
Mm.
understand that. But if you're going to promote yourself for an event, do it on Raw on Monday. Do it
Yeah.
next Friday on SmackDown. Like next Friday on SmackDown, get that pop of coming out and saying that you're in the Rumble tomorrow. Because people are getting
Yeah.
excited last minute Rumble entrance, but don't know what your thoughts on it, but
To be honest, I do agree where you come from there. Like he shows up every now and again, but then again he has been filming. But I feel like doing a video package for it is a bit pointless, especially this close to the Rumble. I think I'd rather have it as a surprise. And if he's not going to
yeah,
appear on any show before, surprise entrance, music hits, massive pop. And over here, as you mentioned, he's over here favourites. I personally think he'd probably be the one to win at the moment. But then again, it's like the hard work all the superstars have been putting in year round. Yeah, he has been out for movies and stuff, but
yeah.
I'm sure like seeing us last year, seeing had movies all last year, and he's managed to be on like every other show. It doesn't take much to be like just come on a show, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to be in the Rumble. Maybe have start like a storyline with someone leading up
Well, when
to
was the
it.
last time we saw him? War Games?
Uh, yeah, yeah, war
November.
games, and then nothing
We've not
came
seen him for
from it.
2 months.
No,
And you sit there and you look at the same thing like there's a lot of spoilers going on online of
yeah, there is.
leaked lineups and all this, and it's all bullshit. The fact that I got sent one and Roman Reigns weren't on it after he'd been announced, and then there was
Mm,
another one where Cody Rhodes had been removed from it, and I was like, well, that clearly isn't correct because Cody was the first one to announce he was in
yeah,
it, etc. Um, but the one spoil I've seen today was I don't know if you've seen the photo over in Saudi of the big finger pointing up to the sky of
yeah,
Roman Reigns traveling. But they were talking about that being installed. But there's one photo I think going around. There's a massive yeah sign, LA
yeah.
Knight sign.
Seeing
Now
that.
I said it to you the other day that my two to win the Rumble at the moment is Sami Zayn loses a title match, enters himself in the Rumble, wins the Rumble,
Mm,
or it's someone like LA Knight coming back at like 28, 29, getting that big pop because there's no big announcement for him yet. Um, Obviously, it's kind of lined up to come back at Rumble. But
Mhm.
I think LA Knight's one of my big ones. I'd absolutely love him to win the Rumble. I
Yeah,
think that pop would be mega. That's not just because he's the mega star, but that would be mega if he come out at like, even if he come out like 17, 18,
yeah,
and he went on to win that Rumble, that mental. And that
yeah,
WrestleMania would give me Daniel Bryan vibes,
yeah, 100%. I
or
think I do
Trophy
prefer
Mania
if
vibes.
I do think I prefer if Sami Zayn wins. Like that was my prediction when we first started speaking about the Rumble. Um, but no, I think Sami Zayn. I would like him to see go on like an underdog run.
Yeah,
And as you mentioned, we spoke about it previously. But, I can't see him. I can't see the title changing to Drew, from Drew to Sammy. So maybe he does enter himself into the Rumble. But then it'd be interesting to see if he gets eliminated, and then it's sorted. Like he's trying to find his path. That's like down the road to WrestleMania, leading on to Elimination Chamber. That's when we start to get the storyline of where's my path leading to.
yeah.
Like this is my last shot at Elimination Chamber to get there, and then he ends up winning the Chamber or the Rumble. Um, that's what I'm hoping to see. Because I mean, I'd love to see him in the main event of WrestleMania again.
I'd like to see Sammy win the Chamber, if I'm going to be honest with you completely, because um, as much as giving him that push, I don't like the idea of taking up a spot that could be like a surprise entrance with someone who's lost on the night. Now, I read somewhere earlier that apparently Mr. Beast is due to be going into the Rumble as the celebrity figure this year.
Yeah.
I've also seen Drewski is due in.
Mm.
Um, Someone put online that Fluffy was due to go in. I was like, mate, that would be great. Don't get me wrong,
It
I've done
would
it.
be.
Maybe we get the proper debut of Speed, someone put, and we
Yeah.
get him coming in.
Let's hope he doesn't get absolutely train wrecked by a spear by a Bron Breakker again.
Yeah, but
Because
this
that
is the
spear last year absolutely it just
split him in
wiped them
half.
out. Yeah.
But this is the whole point of the Rumble is the excitement of, okay, we know there's certain people are going to be in it. I think me and you worked out that there's 12 people announced for it or
Yeah.
14 people announced already. So there's still half the Rumble not. There's still a chance at the last minute they change it to 40, 50 people, which I still
Yeah.
think they should. But these surprises, and it's like, there's a lot of spoilers online. But
Hmm.
to give Sammy a title loss, you know he's going to be in the chamber if he doesn't
Yeah.
win at Rumble. It's kind of written that he'll go into the chamber because
Hmm.
it usually does. Um, and I think you could build a great chamber with him in it and him winning
Yeah.
it would be a big surprise. Even if you put like Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Cody, Jacob, Sammy, and someone like Penta in it just for the high flying side. And you
Hmm.
have Sami Zayn come through that. That's where you could start an underdog story because out of those six people, apart from I'd say Penta, they're all beasts that are going to beat him.
Yeah.
People that have beat him, and you sit there going, that gives you a good storyline. Then he's beat all these people that have beat him, and he's outlasted them all.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see more surprises in the Rumble. I think the last couple of years it's been quite dead.
Yeah.
They've not really give us much surprises, but um, I'd like LA Knight to win it and give him a
Hmm.
Mania match and win at Mania, even if it's against Punk, but
Yeah.
a Mania match because he's been so over for the past 2, 3, 4 years.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's one of these where he's getting so high and high and high, and they've gone, oh, we'll bring Bron Breakker in. Oh, you're in that. Oh, okay. He builds himself up. We'll throw Sami Zayn in there, and we'll build him up, and we'll probably and Seth Rollins in there, and these people. And it's every time he gets up there, like he worked his ass off that one year, built all the way up, dominated, so over. Got to Crown Jewel, and they went, yeah, we're going to give Logan Paul a title match, and everyone
Yeah.
was like, what the fuck?
Hmm.
Give it LA Knight. I think for him to come back as a surprise person in the Rumble, whether it's a surprise or
Yeah.
whatever it is, um, I feel like it could be his year, and that would make Mania
Hmm.
get Mania exciting because people be like, who's he going to pick? And he could draw it out into Elimination Chamber
Yeah.
and announce it earlier in the show
Yeah.
at, at WrestleMania. I'm
Hmm.
going to face the guy who's from the hometown of the Elimination Chamber of Chicago. I want CM Punk at the Rumble. The crowd would
Yeah,
pop because they get to see LA Knight. The crowd will pop because he's picked CM Punk. It's CM Punk's hometown. You're going to get that interaction with the crowd. That's the way
yeah,
you could draw it out a little bit. I don't like the idea of winning the Rumble and in the backstage interview they're like, "I want that challenger." No, draw
no,
it out a little bit and build the excitement for Mania up.
yeah, 100%.
Drag it out to Chamber as much as everyone will sit online, but just tell us already. Drag
Yeah,
it out to Chamber and make it exciting so you
it'll
build up
make
the tension.
yeah, it'll attract more like as you mentioned. Well, it'll attract more viewers as well, tuning in
Yeah,
like each week because it'll see it's that build up and the excitement. Then, and then you mentioned Elimination Chamber in Chicago, CM Punk. So that's a perfect place to announce the opponent for CM Punk at Mania, especially.
the only other thing you could do with Elimination Chamber would be having Punk defend the title in the Chamber.
Yeah, something
But in
different.
that case, you'd have to have Punk lose the title in
Yeah,
Chicago in the Chamber.
mm,
That would cause so much tension online
it would,
because they'd hate
especially
it.
in his hometown as well.
Yeah, but they've not give Drew McIntyre the title in his hometown. Sammy didn't win against Roman Reigns in his hometown. Gunter
Mm,
didn't win in his hometown. Loads of times they're in places in America and people don't win in their hometowns, and you sit there going, "You've never seen a title lost in someone's hometown." Well, I have probably 10 years ago, but
yeah,
under Triple H, we haven't seen a title be lost
hmm
in a hometown where the champion is in their hometown. So
yeah,
I think could be something quite exciting, and I think CM Punk could be up for it. Watching Unreal,
yeah,
uh, he seems to be
definitely.
up for trying things, but um, obviously that leads on to then WrestleMania, and we've got a
Yeah,
few conversations we've had about matches that potentially could be lining up to happen.
hmm
Um, but before we get to Mania,
yes.
there is one match next week that I don't want to happen.
What is it?
I want a 2026 John Cena style AJ run.
Yeah,
Now, I did read his contract is up in February,
yeah, it is.
so Rumble would be the perfect time for him to have his last match, and then there's a celebratory on Raw or SmackDown,
Yeah,
whatever. And don't get me wrong, he's had a great career,
Mhm.
but I'd have loved to see him have a long run, maybe a title run or
Yeah,
a good solo run. But I somehow feel like Gunter's going to win that match, but AJ will cost Gunter the Royal Rumble
mm. Yeah. No, that I can see that happening. To be fair,
and get that one last pop
I
and
can
get
see that.
himself over.
Yeah,
Um,
it is a shame that we haven't seen more of AJ Styles, um, like on the build up to his
yeah,
contract expiring. Obviously, I don't know whether you've seen Shinsuke Nakamura post the conversation, like you called it like maybe like a diary entry from a conversation they had, and he said that was always planned for AJ to that AJ decided he's going to retire after Rumble a while ago, and then I think he deleted it, but there was a screenshot of it on his Shinsuke Nakamura's Instagram story. But if it's being planned for like that long, like obviously it's a shame that he's not gone on like one last title run. Like I know he's
yeah,
been like tag champs and then but then since they lost the tag team titles, like that sort of ended that tag team straight away. And
yeah,
it was a
because
very
they
good.
didn't
It
even
was a
get their
very good.
rematch, did they?
No, no, it was like it was a really good tag team they were in, and then it sort of like stopped for a while. And then obviously after the last Saturday Night main event, not last, the last Saturday Night main event, we had the Series farewell. That's on the Raw that the week after. That's when we see AJ get involved in the Gunter match.
Yeah,
Maybe because obviously Cena was retiring around the same time. This is why it was more focused on Cena than what it was on AJ. But I do still think like AJ's done a lot in WWE for the past exactly near enough 10-year career. Um, and I think he does deserve a lot of a bit of a more of appreciation from it. To be fair, because obviously they call the Shinsuke Nakamura match one last time, but there's so many one last time, but also first time matches. I would love to see AJ have and
yeah.
WWE.
I'd like
But
to see AJ and Finn one more time
yeah,
because they always had good matches, and
yeah,
obviously we all know about the history over in Japan and stuff with both of them being in the Bullet Club.
mm,
Um, I'd have been interested to see that, but I know that he said in an interview that he's starting to feel like John Cena did, where it's he could do another year, but he can't guarantee that the next 12 months he's going to be able to be the best he can be.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens with that. I'd love it to swerve us all and him win it,
yeah,
but with Gunter now being the career ender and retiring all these people,
yeah,
I just struggle to see where AJ wins.
yeah.
If I'm honest,
It'll be a silly decision from WWE's perspective if like you've retired, you were the last person to beat Goldberg, the last person to beat Cena, which is a massive statement in itself. And then, as we spoke about it, like we've called him the legend career killer, like as the nickname for him.
mm.
So it would be silly enough to like end that run here at AJ. But
But he
I
could still
suppose
retire AJ. He just retire
yeah,
at another time.
the way you could get around it is obviously, as you mentioned, like because as I mentioned before, AJ does. I think he needs to be a lot more appreciated in WWE as of recent, anyway. Especially if he does end up retiring. But the scenario you said before about him losing, but then costing Gunther the Rumble, and then we might get one more match down the line, maybe at Mania, just
Yeah,
a
that'd be a good
one-off
film.
match and farewell send-off. But I do think 10 years since his debut, Royal Rumble,
It makes sense, don't it?
it does make sense. But sticking on the topic of AJ, just a quick fire question for you: what would be your best memory of AJ throughout his 10-year career in WWE?
I think it's tough to look past, obviously, his debut. As much as the cameras fucked it up,
Yeah,
that was a great moment. I liked his first match with Shinsuke at Mania, and then
mm,
obviously Shinsuke turned heel after.
yeah,
Um, but ultimately, for me, I think the match of his career has got to be the Undertaker's final match.
yeah,
The cinema behind that match was mental. Um,
mm,
them two haven't. I didn't realize until I'd watched that how close them two actually were with each other. Like, they're like
yeah,
best friends,
they
and I
are.
didn't realize it. And then watching that match, you back after, you can see how close they are and how good they work together. The
Mm,
chemistry worked with them, but um, there's that. Or also, I know you got to see it live. I didn't, but still being the first wrestler to win the WWE Championship on a WWE live in the UK when he beat Jinder Mahal in
yeah,
Manchester to the title. I think that's a big thing in his career as well
yeah, I
because
think that.
he did go on a good run then, and I liked him as champion.
Yeah,
But ultimately, John Cena had to be the one to end his career because, like, there's no one else to do it, is there? Well, to end
mm,
his title run, sorry.
yeah,
Um, the other thing that I wanted to put to you about his career would be, I think you might have said it to me. What if Gunter retires at AJ and AJ turns up in TNA?
yeah. I mentioned that one in the chat.
Yeah.
That's
AJ
what.
then goes and has like a 6 month run in TNA.
Mm,
Go back to your home roots, or obviously where he first got big. And then at the moment, WWE and it was NXT and TNA have that combination.
yeah,
What if they open that up then to the main roster of WWE and Gunter goes and retires him in TNA?
yeah,
So it's theoretically Gunter retires him twice,
mm,
and you get that situation.
yeah,
Obviously, I know we spoke about it, but that could be one story where we go.
yeah. It'll be interesting to see what happens after if he does lose against Gunther. It'll be interesting because obviously Cena made it clear that this is going to be the end of, and like you're not going to see John Cena in ring
Yeah,
action after the 13th December. But with AJ, it's sort of like he's put his career on the line, but he's never announced that he is going to retire. It's sort of the news that's being posted online saying, "Oh, his contract does expire." So he's not actually said that he's not going to be wrestling, like that he's not going to be wrestling again. That's what made me think like there's nothing stopping him from signing with TNA. But then that's also like a backdoor, not a backdoor way, but like a figure of speech, like a backdoor way into WWE to come
Yeah.
back in and attack Gunter one more time.
What
Maybe like that.
if AJ Styles does what Ric Flair did? So if
Mm,
you remember the last 6 months of Ric Flair's life career, sorry, he's not fucking dead, but
yeah.
that 6 months of Ric Flair's career, Vince McMahon told him, the next time you lose, you retire.
Mm,
So what if he beats Gunter and he puts that stipulation in charge?
yeah.
Well, how about then? I thought I'd lose. I thought I'd retire. The next time I lose, I'll retire.
Yeah.
Goes on this mad run, wins the world title, does whatever, and Gunter wins Money in the Bank and cashes in on him, and that's how he has to retire.
Yeah. That's defo. That would be really good.
You bring
There's a
back
lot of
old school WWE style into it,
you do.
and obviously they've announced 2K26's Attitude Era, Monday Night Nitro, and
Mm,
WCW Era or something like that. They've announced the three. It's going to be all old school
yeah.
WWE. What if they start bringing back some old school things like that? Of my career's on the line. Next time I lose, I'm done. And he
Yeah.
goes to a SummerSlam or Money
Hmm.
in the Bank, wins the title at Money in the Bank in a petty match that Drew McIntyre or CM Punk gives him, or even LA Knight or someone like that
Hmm.
gives him a petty match to say, "Oh, come on, let's see if you can." He wins that match, but
Yeah.
then it's immediately cashed in on by Gunter. So Gunter
Yeah.
still ends his career, but he'll take a title. He had technically one last title match where
Hmm.
he wins, so he'd be I think it's a five-time world champion.
Yeah.
Um, but it gives him that bit of a run, and then people get excited then again because it's, oh, we've got to watch that AJ match because we need to know if he's going to retire or not, and you bring that fan base in.
Yeah.
Um, I think there's a lot of options you could go with AJ
There is.
Styles. I
I
did read
think
something about
so.
last night's match that said it was match of the year so far.
Mm,
I haven't personally watched it. I know you did, but what were your
yeah.
thoughts on the actual match?
It was a great match. I was lucky enough to be there at WrestleMania 34 when the first match happened took place. That was a bit of a underwhelming match from especially from the past what I've had. But last night I've seen a few tweets online, and I agree with them that the last night definitely made up for the match that they had at WrestleMania 34. It was a great match overall.
Yeah,
Perfect. If he does retire, perfect way to basically say goodbye and put the especially a rivalry obviously with Shinsuke from even pre WWE in Japan as well. It was a perfect like story ending moment for AJ there.
yeah. And then the final thing to clear up from last night was Io and Rio, Io, oh, Ting Twister,
Oh, Rio was it?
Io
Rio.
and Rhea defeating
Yeah,
Judgment Day. Um, Obviously, I haven't watched that night main event. I'm actually going to go watch it. I've seen all the results. Me and Mrs.
yeah,
going to put it on when I go to bed. But um, obviously, I've seen that Stephanie Vikia comes back, evens the odds by taking out Raquel Rodriguez. I'm sure that's going to set up a Rumble match
it's
somewhere.
nice to see her without the boot on her leg as well, ankle leg.
Yeah,
So she
but
didn't have the boot on as well.
it's going to set up a Rumble match. That's going to be
Yeah,
the
100%.
match at Rumble for the title. I personally think that Raquel wins it because of Judgment Day.
Yeah,
Um, I would be very interested though after um, Liv and Roxanne lost because I thought shooing they were going to win. You know
mm,
now that Io and Rio will go on and face Julia and Kiana James.
yeah,
We know they're not going to win. They're not going to give Julia double champs when they weren't happy giving the US title back. But
yeah, yeah,
um, Judgment Day's kind of imploding at the moment. I think Finn Balor's going to look at something that'll happen at the Rumble where Finn Balor will turn on them.
yeah,
It'll
100%.
implode. And I kind of really want it to happen where it escalates from Roxanne eliminating Liv Morgan.
Mm,
Because we all know that one Rumble will open the show. You'll have two or three title matches in the middle
yeah,
after the final
100%.
Rumble. Usually, I don't want to touch wood, don't want to jinx it, but usually it's the women's Rumble, two, three matches, the men's Rumble, final.
Yeah,
What if they switch it up like they did a couple of years ago? We start with the men's Rumble,
yeah,
You get Finn Balor turn on the Judgment Day. They're all
Yeah.
backstage giving it this throughout the show. What are you doing? What do you think you're doing? Blah, blah. And
Mm.
then Roxanne goes and eliminates Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez and
Yeah.
turns on the Judgment Day with Finn Balor.
Yeah. That's
It'd
what
be it'd be good storytelling.
we've spoken about that in the past as well. I do think that's what's going to happen in the Rumble. I do think Judgment Day is going to implode. And also going back onto topic of Finn Balor, this past Monday Night Raw is old theme song.
Yes.
The match he had,
So
the
excited.
standing ovation he had in his hometown. It was I was really backing Finn Balor to win. He didn't win, but I do think that's like it's lit. Like from a in like a storytelling
Yeah.
perspective, it's lit something inside Finn Balor. Like he's solo, his own music's back. The crowd absolutely ate into it, absolutely loved it. Does
I've seen
that?
someone say
Does
that he only went back to his old music because it was in
mm,
Belfast. And then I thought I, I thought about it a bit more, and I thought, yeah, it makes
mm,
sense. Go back to your original. Go back to like
yeah,
the originality where you were born. You're back at home. Go back to what you're
mm,
used to.
yeah,
Kind of would have liked to have seen the demon as a surprise, but
yeah,
can't ask for everything in the world. Um, but then I've seen something from I don't know if it was Sean Zapp or PW Inside. Someone on Twitter that was quite a reliable source said that apparently the creative side of WWE were quite happy with how the fans reacted to him going back to his
yeah,
music. And apparently there were conversations about him keeping that theme going forward and
mm,
scrapping off what he had. Obviously, they're trying to get rid of this Death Rebel or whatever it is they had.
yeah,
Slowly, like people like Shinsuke, AJ have gone back to old music.
yeah,
I think that's how you get Finn back face. Is
yeah,
you have him return with his old music,
yeah.
you
I
return of the
think
demon and stuff like
yeah.
that.
I think after the Rumble, I think when it does turn, and then I do think like he'll do like a promo and something where his music hits, the crowd's reaction to him down, like that's changed something inside him to realize like he could like the Judgment Day sort of hold him back and that storyline, but then also JD sort of obviously because you got JD and Finn Balor that partnership as well.
Mm.
JD sides with Finn, and then we've got Roxanne as well, and obviously you've got Liv, you've got that imploding as well, and then obviously the Dom's going to be in the middle of it, and that's where I think Finn Balor targets at Mania. Then
I think though I'd like to see Finn on his own. I don't think I'd like to if JD gets a singles push as well, and Roxanne goes on a world title
yeah,
push. I'd quite like to see the three of them go on them. What
mm,
if we get entrance number one in the Rumble is Dom Mysterio returns.
yeah,
Entrance number two, lights go out, the red lights are boom, 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 and the demon comes out,
mm,
but the demon's not in the Judgment Day.
yeah.
Demon
And
died and didn't join Judgment
I
Day.
just had a thought actually. Then what if we get like a mankind like Mick Foley scenario where the demon, where Finn Balor and Dom eliminates Finn Balor, but then Finn Balor enters the Rumble again as the demon.
The only problem with that, and I spoke to my brother about this, and we were looking into it, and I was like, could it be done?
Mm.
It takes him an hour and 25 minutes to put that makeup on.
And that's what I was just about to say as well. It's a lot of the yeah,
The only way you do it is
mm,
the demon, then Finn Balor.
yeah. The
So
only
you could have,
and
that's what I'm saying, you could have the Dom and the demon come out one and
mm,
two. The demon just full up attacks him.
yeah,
People are like, what's going on? Good battle. Third comes in, fourth comes in.
yeah,
Finn goes out. And
yeah,
then demon goes out. Then you have Finn come back out at like 24. Dom's still in the ring. And he
mm,
goes in and he starts protecting Dom and teams up with him.
yeah,
And then he starts trying to get this alter ego off. Well, when he's Finn Balor, he's Judgment Day. But the demon's not Judgment Day.
mm.
He has
I
to
like that.
play two characters. It would give a completely different style of. I don't think we've ever seen it before
We haven't.
in that
No, I was
way.
just
So
thinking like we sit there. I like that. I do like that.
it'd be a good storyline, wouldn't it? But
It is. There's
uh,
a lot of stuff building into the Rumble, which obviously we're going to do
WrestleMania
that next week.
season is well and truly underway. Like we said,
It
Road
is.
to Riyadh is beginning.
Mm,
We've got the Royal Rumble coming up. So we are live. We are together Friday night. We will be
We are,
live late though.
and this is going to be our first one actually together
Well,
live.
we
Well, together
potentially
in any video.
might go live or record a video late on Friday,
Mhm.
only because you're travelling down from Liverpool down here. Um,
Yep.
I'm unfortunate at a funeral for the day. Um, so we might do a video later on the night. If not, the next time you will see us will
Mhm.
be Wednesday. Anyway,
Yeah.
we're hoping to bring back the top 10 series.
Yes.
And then after that, will 100% be Royal Rumble. But it won't just be us two. There is,
Nope.
I think, 20 of us getting
Yeah.
together to watch the Royal Rumble. So,
I'm
m-
looking. Yeah.
most important thing we ask from you all the time is please like, share, follow, subscribe. Let us know
Yeah.
your thoughts in the comments. And we'll throw it out there for anyone who has watched it or this video.
Yes.
Let us know in the comments your winners for the men's and the women's Royal Rumble.
About that.
Your predictions and who you
About
think's
that.
going to win.
I'm gonna get a scenario base. Let's put it out there now. What's your prediction for the men's and women's rumble?
LA Knight, just
Yep.
because I think, like I said, I'd love that the tension if they could. But even if he
Mhm.
comes out and announces straight out, I think that would be a good build to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
For the women's, I see Jordan Grace winning it, but I don't.
Yeah.
Tiffany Stratton,
Yeah. Definitely. Right. Good.
and I think she comes back and people are going to think she's going to target Jade Cargill because
Yeah.
Jade Cargill beat her. Technically, that would be her rematch.
Hmm.
I think she challenges Stephanie Vakia because Stephanie ended her unbeaten run.
Yeah. That'd be good. That'd be good to see.
What are your predictions?
I'm going Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn for the men's. As we spoke about earlier, I would love to see that underdog run. And I do think Sami Zayn 100% deserves to be in that main event picture at WrestleMania. If he doesn't, I do think something might happen with Elimination Chamber, but I don't see him taking the title off Drew early in the night. But then we do see him win the Rumble. For the women's, I'm going for a return of Bianca Belair.
That's my second close one.
Yeah. Bianca Belair returns, wins, and challenges Jade Cargill.
That would be interesting, and I'd be definitely down for seeing that.
Yeah, that's what
Um,
I'm going for.
the final thing I want to put out there, only because it was said on Raw, obviously we don't have connections to people to talk,
Hmm.
but if Jimmy Uso, and Naomi ever see our videos, same as everyone else, we want to send our thoughts and prayers to them with whatever's going on. It's not public knowledge whether they've had the baby or not baby, or whatever the situation is. We hope everything's okay with them.
Yes.
I know Jay said something on Raw about his thoughts with them, so obviously we want to send it out there as well, make sure everything's okay. Um, but yeah, so we will see you Wednesday for the next top 10. It's
Yeah,
probably going to be Royal Rumble themed.
100%.
And if you don't catch us Wednesday, we will see you at the Royal Rumble. See you later.
Yes.